Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with tonight's edition of the main event report. Tonight's October 14th, 2014. Honestly, on my plate tonight wasn't going to be watching the main event show. I did have plans to watch the WWE versus WCW Monday Night War, talking about the little dudes back in the day, the cruiserweights. I hear that special was very good tonight, but thanks to following my good buddy Zach Brown over there on, well, not Zach Brown Band, but I think you guys know who I'm talking about, WWE Punk fan from his YouTube days, and now he's changed over to his regular name of Zach Brown on there, but you know, he always live tweets just about every show of the week for WWE. He live tweets Raw. He live tweets Main Event. He'll live tweet SmackDown, and he'll live tweet the specials as they go along. And tonight, he got my attention. You know, he was saying how good Main Event was. So right there in the middle of the gym, as I was going on my little expedition, going 4.5 miles of workout time, I watched Main Event on the WWE Network there, thanks to the Wi-Fi at the gym. The Miz TV stuff was pretty good with Damien Sandow, or now known as Mizdow, playing the part of Sheamus, acting out with Miz there in the ring. R-Truth versus Tyson Kidd was very good, but the one thing that really caught my attention, the reason why I did watch this match, was Biggie Langston versus Rusev. And these matches were very good a few months ago on the Payback and the Money in the Bank shows. Biggie Langston was one of the first real tests for Rusev. Of course, Rusev, came in. He had the feud with R-Truth. He had the feud with Xavier Woods. He took them both on in a 2-on-1 match, and I think that was the first pay-per-view match that he had. But Biggie Langston, a former Intercontinental Champion. It's funny to think of that just about a year ago on Monday Night Raw, Biggie Langston took the Intercontinental Championship finally away from Curtis Axel. That was on the Raw Country show last year. I think everybody can remember. That was one of the first times we heard Florida Georgia Line, one of my favorite country music groups. I think a lot of people who watch WWE, especially Monday Night Raw, don't like these guys. You can think of them showing up, hyping up them being on the tribute for the troops, him shoving over Damien Sandow, then him selling for it. I remember on a lot of reviews that night, people saying how stupid that was to basically have a WWE superstar be out-muscled by two country music guys that were out there. But I think a lot of people out there don't even really know who those guys are, especially when I listened to Wang on Figure 4 Weekly talking about how the only reason why these guys are good is because they have a remix with Nelly is the only reason why people take these guys credible. But honestly, I think they make some good music. But Biggie Langston was able to beat Curtis Axel, and it looked like this guy was really on the rise. We saw him main eventing Monday Night Raw in 6-man tags with John Cena and CM Punk, and it seemed like Biggie Langston was becoming one of the super friends of John Cena, and before long he was going to become the man, but somehow his luck ran out and he just started losing matches, much like how Cesaro was when he had the United States Championship. And from there he finally dropped the title to Bad News Barrett at the Extreme Rules show after Bad News Barrett won the Intercontinental Championship tournament. I think everybody saw that coming, and having the title off of him I thought was going to be a big relief. And from there, I thought maybe he had a shot of winning the Battle Royal for the United States Championship that was held on Monday Night Raw on the way to Payback. That was when they finally took the belt off of Dean Ambrose, and that's when they put it on Sheamus, and now Sheamus is sort of stuck on something where he just wins matches, but he doesn't really have anything really meaningful going on. He's going into a feud with Miz that no one's that excited about at this point. But the matches against Rusev were just awesome. I really thought that Biggie Langston was the guy that could have stepped up. Of course, that's when he started waving the American flag, a lot like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, And since those two matches, the last one at Money in the Bank, we really haven't seen anything from this guy since the New Nation of Domination back in July before SummerSlam, basically where Xavier Woods came running down there telling, Biggie Langston and Kofi Kingston not to fight each other, that they have to bond together. And since then, we've heard rumors of them being some super heel, faction that's going to take on the world. And then, that sort of turned into them being baby faces at house shows, calling themselves the Smart Athletic Friends or something like that, where basically every sort of way you mix these guys around, they have a different tag team name and all sorts of things. We've seen where Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston have been in a tag match, and Biggie Langston has been the manager on the outside. All sorts of things. When Mark Henry made his return back in August before SummerSlam, I really thought that they were making him as a babyface return, only to stab us in the back and him join these guys and sort of really have that real big backbone of the New Nation of Domination. But I was glad to see Biggie Langston back on TV. Hasn't really done anything, and he's one of those guys that I just really, really like. He's stuck in a bad spot right now, almost to the point where, if something came out and it said, Biggie Langston was released, I wouldn't even really be surprised. But he's a guy that I'm really, really rooting for, and he had another really good match with Rusev. These guys work really well together. Just two big dudes that just love beating the crap out of each other. There's no soft shots in this. Everything's really stiff. Everything really gets laid in. I don't think Biggie Langston was ever in a point where people thought that he was going to win this match. It was very, from the very beginning, Rusev and Lana came out doing their stick. They were in Birmingham, Alabama tonight, and they were talking about how if America was a big ugly animal, basically New York would be the head and Los Angeles would be the tail, and then Lana called Birmingham the unshaven armpit of the country, and then Rusev took the mic and he started calling Big Show the anus of the United States, and he said anus like 4, maybe even 5 times, to the point where it just became really weird and really awkward. Like, no one was really behind it. No one was cheering, or nobody was, chanting USA or booing him. They just were sort of sitting through this, hoping to get it over. Biggie Langston came down. They really had a match where they just really beat each other up. Biggie Langston got to the point where he put the straps down, where it looked like he was going to be setting up Rusev for the victory, but he made the mistake, which set up Rusev, within just a second's notice, putting Biggie Langston in the accolade, and he was tapping out. And, he'll live to fight another day. But anytime you get to see Rusev versus Big E, that's a good match you need to see. Go out of your way to check out October 14th edition of the main event on the WWE Network. You'll really love it. Big E's one of my guys. I mean, I was lucky enough just to meet him it was that last month or the month before, whenever August was. God, August is forever ago. We're in October. We're almost at Halloween, baby. 100-something days counting down to WrestleMania. It's going to be here before we know it. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you guys down the road. I'm going to watch this WWE versus WCW Monday Night War documentary next. Peace out.